everyone, my name is Rhonda Robson and welcome to my Fluid Art channel. Today we're going to be doing a swipe for a beautiful baby girl and her mother, and so I can't wait to show you. This one was a tough one for me, but it ends up being really pretty. So let me get you down on the canvas and let me show you exactly how I did this one. Hey everyone, all right, well, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a really neat swipe for a gal named Kyrea. She's having a little girl, and so I wanted to do a really cool swipe for her. So the colors that I'm going to be using is white, and I've taken the white and I've added in iridescent and iridescent medium. I'm also using this pearl, which I'm a little nervous about because it's flat. I really wanted gloss, but we'll see what happens. But that's pearl. And then we're using Interference Gold by Golden. And we'll be using Champagne, which is also by Deco Art. I might be using Obsidian by Deco Art too. I've got this ready for another painting I'm going to do right after this one. And then I might use a little bit of this Deco Art Extra Sheen Silver. This one's also for the next painting as well. And then because she's having a little girl and her bedroom has a little pink in it, I'm going to put Pearl Pink as well as Pearl Magenta. So we should have a lot of fun with this. And let me show you the consistency of my paints. Is a nice medium thickness, so it runs off and it makes a mound on the top surface, and it's nice and thick, but yet it's not too thick for a swipe. So my mix that I use, or my medium that I'm using, is a 60 ounces. I made a big jug of this, so it ends up being 128 ounces of, which is a gallon of mix, and it's 60 ounces of Floetrol, 60 ounces of Liquitex medium gloss, and 8 ounces of GAC. That's all mixed together, and then I take my mix and I do a 1 part paint to, it was working out to be more like 3.5 to 4 parts of the medium. So depending on what it is, it was anywhere from 1 part paint to, let's see, here's a couple of them. So it was 1 part paint to 4 parts, and I even did sometimes 1 part to 5 ounces depending on which paint it was. So 1 ounce to 5 ounces of my, this is my medium and this is my paint. So anyway, that's the worksheet that I'm working off of today, and this is kind of what we're going to start with. The base is going to be white, and then I'm going to add in the champagne color and the pearl, and then we'll add in some pink and stuff. So that's what we're going to get going on right now. All right, so let me put that off to the side so that I can kind of use it as a little bit of a guide for myself, and then we'll go. This is already leveled, so I've got my level on here, and I've got my push pins in, and I put tape on the back side, and this canvas is a 16 by 40 canvas, and this is going to go over her bed. That was what my intent was. She is sharing her room with her little baby here soon, and it's pink. So I'm going to go ahead and put some pink in this. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, well, this one was a tough one for me. For some reason, it just wasn't flowing right, so I ended up scraping it all. So you can kind of see that it's kind of now has a grayish, kind of pinkish background. So I'm taking my pink, my dark pink and my light pink, and then here's a little bit of the really dark charcoal gray, and then a little bit of gray as well. And I'm going to swipe this. And so through this process, one of the things that I tried to do in the one that I did before this that you're not looking at is I was trying to use paper towels, and they just don't seem to work with the thickness that I was using. It probably works with a different consistency of paint than I was using here. So there you can see that I've put some gold and some white in there. And I'm going to use, you can see the piece of plastic off to the side. That's probably better for the thickness that I have. So I'm just putting some paper towels here to wipe off the piece of plastic. And this is a little bit faster than what I typically would do this at a normal speed. But it took me a long time to kind of get my groove on this one. So I don't want you to have to feel like you have to watch it at normal speed. So I'm going to be quiet now and just allow the music and for you to watch what I do. But just know that it was a process for this one. And so sometimes it's going to be a process for you. And if you don't like it, it's okay to scrape it and kind of start over again. And you can kind of see that. See how it's looking really cool now? You got a little bit of the pink, a little bit of the gray, a little bit of the white in there, a little bit of the gold. And it's just nice and soft. And that was what I was kind of going for in the first place. And so, yeah. And now I'm going to do some patchwork swipes through this. So you kind of saw me, I did at the very end, I just did one long swipe. So now I'm kind of doing what I call patch swipes, or you can kind of think of it as like this patch of the canvas swipe, right? Because it's not exactly patch swiping, but it's that technique, but it's not quite the exact same. I do have a patch swipe that you can see, and I'll put it on here. It was my husband's 50th birthday. I made a patch swipe canvas, but anyway, I'll let you watch instead of me talk too much, but I'll add that link here. All right, well, I'll come back in a little bit and we'll talk some more.
Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I've done this bigger piece of plastic patch swipe, and now I'm gonna take the smaller piece of plastic and do some smaller swipes. So it makes it even more like different sizes, and it adds a different texture and a different feel to it when you have, instead of it being all chunky, there's some smaller areas that I've taken this piece of plastic tool and done. So I can do it one way, kind of the length way that I was doing it right there. But I can also do it, from the end side too as well. So here's the length way of that one. And this one I just wanted to kind of put a little bit more pink in a certain area. So I put the pink on the actual swiping tool and put it in there. So you don't necessarily have to put the paint on the canvas and swipe it, right? You can put it on your tool, like I'm doing right now, and I'm kind of just letting it slide across. Now I'm kind of just doing the sides, and then just trying to touch up just a few areas that I see over above, and and make it a little bit better. But then I take this big one swipe here, and then it just brings up too much white, so then I have to start over again. So sometimes you've got to be careful and not to over swipe as well. So anyway, this is a really great way for you to see just me working the canvas and getting the composition that works for me. So you may have seen through this process, hey, I would have just kept it that way. And that's really what the whole process is about, is for you to decide for yourself what you like and what the composition you like. I was definitely looking for some more pinks, some bringing up some more white throughout this. So I love how this is turning out, and I hope you do too. I cannot wait to show you what it looks like finished. And I know Kyrea loved it for her little girl. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I'm just going to allow you to watch the rest of this as I get the sides. Also, towards the end here, I'm going to show you what I did to make sure that the back was protected, since I was giving this away as a gift, or if you were doing a commission piece, because I kind of think that this is kind of like a commission piece, although I was making it as a gift. But that's coming up next, and so you can kind of see how I do that. All right, that's pretty much it looking wet. That's the results of it wet. I'm just finishing up the sides there. Here's it dry. Isn't it pretty? Really soft. I think she really enjoyed this, and I know I did making it. There you can kind of see more of the pink. I think the other ones weren't that great of a photo. And then there's Kyrea, and that was her shower. Yeah. And here it is over top of her bed. Hey everyone. All right, I'm going to show you how I protect my backs. I'm going to use tape. I'm going to use my large push pins and a level. So I only need 4 of my push pins. And I just take my push pin and I put it in the plastic to open it up. And then I unwrap it. And you can decide whatever you want to do, but I leave the cellophane on so that way it protects the front as I'm doing everything, right? So instead of taking it off and then having it, directly on the paper, then it's on the cellophane that was wrapped around the canvas. All right, this canvas is a 16 by 40. Get rid of the little gel packs, and then I'm going to take my tape and I put it on the corner, and I just want a little tiny bit of the white showing there. And then I just, smooth it, and I just tear it. And I smooth it back and indent it with my hands, just to press down a little hard so that it does a nice straight line. And then I do it in the other corner, same thing, just do the same thing, just take your time. I just use my thumb there as kind of like a guide when I go to tear it. And I need to make sure I cover that one little piece. So I just take a little piece off and I just put it right there. And I cover that area too. So I do the exact same thing. All right, well, let's do this other side now. Okay, then I take the tape just a little bit because I use the sides to tilt, and I just put it on the edge and then kind of, fold it over like that. Because I do use my hands, so to tilt, and a lot of times my hands or my gloves will have, paint on it, and so then that way it keeps that on there. And because I usually don't use the top sides, I just use the sides. The shorter sides, so then I don't typically do that. But because this is a gift, I'm going to go ahead and do the sides. All the sides, I should say. And then let's go ahead and just do the centerpiece too, just so that it just makes it look that much nicer when you're presenting it as either a gift or as when you present it as, a commission piece. Okay, so now that I've got my sides, I'm going to take my hammer and I'm just going to put it in the corner. And you can put it right in the corner. I put it on the side. Sometimes I put them right in the corners. But for me, I just want to make sure that it's level. And that's the most important thing when you're working with fluid art, is to make sure it's level. And so you're going to kind of see me make sure that these are straight and turn them in. And once that's done, then I just flip it over. And then I put the cellophane and I just throw that away. Or I might use it, if it's thick enough, I use it for something else. And this one in particular, I don't. So then we got to figure out if it's level. And so for you, you can see the center. It's just right there. Now let's see if it's level this way. So it needs to come up a little bit on those sides. And I just take them and I twist them out just a little bit. Come on up. Just twist it a little bit and just bring it up just slightly, right? The canvas up a little bit. Looks in the middle, very nice. And then this way. Perfect. All right, good to go.
Thanks for joining me today, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell. And if you like this video, I bet you're gonna like these as well. Thanks a lot and have a great day. Bye! Bye!